Dan, you've talked about all season just how the importance of creating lengthy at-bats and upping the pitch count can lead to good things down the road. 29 pitches against Flaherty in the second inning, I think 26 in the third. Just what'd you see out of your guys, especially in those first few innings there?
Yeah, we talk about it a lot, just a lot of, grind them out at-bats. And when you look at, Josh Naylor and what that at-bat looked like in the second inning, 11 pitches, whatever it was, just grinding out, fouling them off. And that's – you don't see the immediate result, but you do see it later on down the line, and that's what I think happened tonight. I think some really good at-bats up and down the lineup tonight, using the middle of the field. Yes, we hit a couple homers, which is great. Gino getting on the board there with a homer. Cal the opposite way. JP's homer was big to get the run back after we'd given him up. But we also scored, conventionally, quote conventionally, and getting some guys on base, using the middle of the field. Cal going up the middle to get an RBI, Randy going up the middle. I mean, JP going the other way. Like just a lot of great at bats, and that's what it takes. And when these guys do that, that's their more consistent offense.
Dan, Logan was looking pretty strong still through 85 pitches or so. What was kind of the thought process, and as you weigh whether to send him back out for the seventh?
Yeah, can't say enough about what Logan did tonight. Just an incredible outing. Really had everything going. You look at his slider tonight, outstanding. His split was outstanding. Some good fastballs. You weigh both sides of it there. But like we've talked about in our bullpen, it's a solid bullpen. It's so deep. And at that point, you felt good about getting through 6 innings and turning it over to the bullpen, who did it again tonight. So, I think 85. This time of year, that's a great outing, and what he gave us to get through, a tough lineup. You gotta love getting that here, especially this late in the year.
Dan, a lot of people thought you might go with Logan game 1. You bring him in game 3 on the road, tough environment. Was that part of the thinking that he could handle this, given his stuff and his ability to strike guys out, and what did you see that made him so effective tonight?
Yeah, it was vintage Logan. I thought he attacked the zone. He got into good counts, you let the split and the slider do his work for him, and kept him off stride. It was vintage Logan, I thought, and to get that, like you've mentioned, on the road. In a big game tonight, after a long rain delay, I think you can't discredit that either. Able to come out and throw out an outing like that after waiting around for a couple hours is another feather in his cap. So he just he answered the call tonight, no question about it, and it was what we needed for sure.
And before the game, AJ Hinge talked about moving up Carpenter to that one spot, potentially set up you'd have to make a decision maybe a little earlier. In that 5th inning when he comes up in that key moment, are you thinking about making any changes there? What was your thought process?
Yeah, you're always conscious of the matchups, especially this time of year, especially early in the game. You can't ignore it, and you're always thinking, and the way Logan was throwing the ball and continued to throw the ball. Again, we talked about the split being somewhat of a neutralizer for him, and I thought tonight it was excellent.
Dan, you brought Brash in to face a different pocket of hitters than he's faced. Was that maybe part of the calculus, trying to not let guys get consistent looks at him? We didn't see Spire today, maybe trying to kind of limit guys' exposure?
Yeah, I think, again, you look to set up guys that, for success and to find the best spot for him. With that, the game where it was at that point, felt like a really good spot for Brash to throw. And Matty came in, did a really nice job and attacked the zone again. Again, you got to give a lot of credit to the bullpen tonight.
Yeah, how important was it? Just the first couple games, it was pretty much Julio, Cal, and Jorge doing all the work for you, but we saw kind of the depth of your lineup and what it can do. To get that sort of production out of the bottom of your order and get Gino going, how big is that moving forward?
Yeah, I think we're really clicking when you're going when you're adding those at bats up and down the lineup, and especially as you mentioned down at the bottom, JP a big night, and being able to get that bottom of the order to get it back up to the top, and just some great at bats down there tonight, and some huge contributions. I thought, JP's homer there to kind of get us back, get that run back that they were able to get was big. Otherwise, just continued offense tonight and adding on. I think that's such a big part of it tonight. Getting a lead, but also continuing to add on as the game went on, and that bodes well for us going forward.
With the rain delay, that can be difficult for Logan and starting pitchers and their routines and things. And there's even some uncertainty tomorrow with the game time. It depends on what goes on in New York right now. Does that affect the team? And obviously the last game being the toughest to win.
Yeah. I think it's playoff time. And you just got to be ready for anything. And these guys understand that. I thought they did a really nice job during the rain delay, just, staying loose, but staying, intense enough to come right out and get after it. And our guys just, it's a great group. And tomorrow, if it's early, we'll be ready to go early. If it's later, we'll be ready then too. But, I think this is a team that's, prone to make adjustments, and we've been doing it all season long.
We've seen Logan be so diverse with how he utilizes the slider and the splitter. We've seen him use it to get ahead, put it away with the fastball, vice versa today, where his main usage is with those pitches. Just how impressive or is that for in-game to adjust with those two specific offerings?
Yeah, I think, again, he and Cal have worked together for so long and know each other so well. And you come up with that game plan prior to. You go out there and you see what's working, what isn't working. You see the adjustments that may or may not being made, and that's what you do. You make your adjustments. And I thought they, again, great game plan going out, great adjustments throughout. And Logan's execution was beyond report tonight. It just was a great job all around.
Dan, you're up 8-1. You probably didn't think you're going to have to go to your closer. How difficult is it having to go to Andres in that situation? And do you have a Game 4 starter?
Yeah, not ideal. You don't want to have to use your closer there, but I give Mooney a lot of credit for coming in there and slamming the door. Not an easy situation. And even with a runner on first base, I thought he came in and give him a lot of credit for slamming the door and getting us those 3 outs. And, winning the ball game for us. And, tomorrow Bryce Miller will be on the hill for us.
Logan, I'm sure a lot of your life before pro ball, you were able to kind of get by with using your really good fastball. At what point did maybe you switch up your mentality to pitching backwards so effectively?
Yeah, first off, I just got to say, glory to God. I couldn't do this without him. But it's kind of crazy coming in and basically only throwing a fastball in 21. And then learning the slider I have now and really feeling good about that. And there were times I actually feel like I've gotten away from fastball, so then kind of had to go back to that. But it was nice trying to work everything in there tonight. And Cal always does a great job seeing what's working, what we need to go to. So just try to follow his lead.
Logan, you've talked a couple times about, having the strikeout stuff, but just trying to work your way back to being able to go deeper into outings. Tonight, especially with it being a playoff game, did it really feel like vintage Logan Gilbert, so to speak?
I felt pretty good. The key is getting ahead, and honestly, I didn't do a great job of that. But after that, I felt like I was able to make pitches when I needed to. In a game like this, you just don't want to get deep counts all the time and beat yourself and walk guys. So I tried to just force contact, make them swing it, and defense played great behind me.
Logan, when Carpenter came up there with the traffic on, did you have in your mind an idea how you were going to attack him coming in based on what you'd seen from him already in the first 2 games?
I wanted to get to splitter and felt like he was tracking it pretty good actually. And some of them weren't super competitive to him especially, but the slider worked pretty good. And thankfully got him on a fastball up too that we saw him hit a fastball up for a homer earlier in the series, but got it to a good spot today. So he's a great hitter. You got to make your pitches, and felt like I executed when I needed to. No, I always want to assume that I'm going to keep going, and it was still earlier in the game, but I know we have Gabe down there too, who's great against lefties, so you never really know how it's going to shake out, but just want to assume I'm always going as far as I can and be aggressive.
Logan, between your outing, Eugenio slamming the door at the end, on offense, contributions up and down the lineup, just how much does that typify what the Mariners have become at this point and so many key contributors.
Yeah, it's a huge game, a lot of momentum, and I've been saying it for a while. This is the most complete team I've been on and seen. Our offense did amazing, gave me a good lead to work with there. JP, Gino, so good at baseball, and great teammate too. And Cal doing what he does, of course. So just having all those guys, such a deep lineup. They do a great job. Defense played great. So I think that's, like you said, it's kind of, I think, the game that shows how complete our team is.
Logan, JP's been here your whole time in Seattle. And even before that, what does he represent to this team? How important is he in sort of setting the tone for a guy who's been here a long time?
Yeah, he does everything. Like you said, setting the tone. He's the spark plug, a leader on the team, a guy that when he goes, the whole team follows, and he always plays great defense and gets us going on offense like that too, and just a great leader, vocal guy, all that kind of stuff. So he brings everything to the table, really.
With the rain delay messing up your routine, what did you do to stay loose?
Yeah, it felt like it took forever, especially before the game. You get kind of antsy, and we just kept going later and later. But it really wasn't too bad. I tried to assume we were about to play in the next 30 minutes and just keep doing that over and over. So I tried to stay loose, stretching, and throwing plyo balls and that kind of stuff. So not ideal, but really wasn't the worst.
Logan, you mentioned you went out trying to force contact tonight. What did you find effective in doing that?
Like I said, again, Cal did a great job. I think he knows other teams really well and what to go to. I was just trying to keep the ball down for the most part, and I think I did a pretty good job at that. A couple got away from me, but the slider down, fastball felt pretty good, trying to attack them. Like I said, I didn't get a ton of first pitch strikes, which I try to focus on, but after that, I felt like I did a pretty good job making pitches when I needed to.
Gino, you began your career here. Your first major league game was here. Just what were the emotions when you hit that home run?
I mean, obviously, it feels great, do something, here in Detroit where everything starts. But at the time, I just think about, my team and what we've been doing in this postseason, or try to help my team win games, and I not really think about doing here in Detroit or doing in, try to do something here in Detroit. Just, came here with the same mentality like every day and try to compete and help my team win the game.
What are your emotions, thoughts on being a win away from the AL Championship Series, first time in a long time for this franchise?
I mean, it feels great, but we've been battle all year long. It came to this point and be, one step closer for going to the championship, and we don't have doing the job done yet. We got to continue to play like this, and today was a great game for us, And like I say, we came here to win games, and keep forward and see forward for what the baseball got for us. I think the Seattle Mariners deserve what we are right now, and the fans as well.
Gino, how was tonight kind of indicative of your offense and your lineup? For the most part, it had been Cal and Julio and Jorge the first couple games, but a lot of different guys tonight.
I mean, I feel like, these games and it's a little bit for everybody. Our first two games, it wasn't for me, and Cal and Julio did a really good job in the first two games. Obviously, you want to do something. You want to help your team, but it's not about one player. Sometimes you help the team to defend and base running or make a good play. Today, I mean, I got an opportunity to help my team. So that's my thing. That's what I thought every time. Like, come here, not try to be a superhero, take the moment and play my game and have a good at bats and see what baseball gave it to me or what Cap have and that day to me. Today, I hit that homer and I helped my team win games. I think that's more important for me and for the team too as well.
Gino, what does it do for this lineup when you have a hitter like J.P. Crawford who could bat ninth, with the kind of approach he has and the success he has?
I mean, I think like JP is one of the for us. He's been really good, both sides, defense and offense. You never know when he's gonna hit a homer like today. He always batted. He always got a good at bats. He tried hard to make the pitching working hard. It's not easy out for him, you know. And how does bat like that it help the team a lot, you know. When you had JP on the box and you always think he's gonna do something well, you know. And today he did a really good job. He take a walk, he hit a big homer, and then he did a sacrifice. You know, that's what how deep is our lineup right now. You know, is everybody can do something.
Did you know Miggy was going to be here today, Gino? Did you talk to him at all when he was here?
To be honest, I got one call today earlier this morning, and that call was Miggy. You know, I didn't even know that. I knew it for a fact. He might be gonna be here. You know, he's a superhero here in Detroit. They love him, and I was really. I feel good when I see Miggy throw the first pitch tonight, and it's awesome to see him back and here in Detroit. I feel blessed that I share clubhouse with him and how he represents not only Detroit but Venezuela and Latin American and everything he do. It's very nice to see him tonight and throw the first pitch.
Gino, I was surprised when Meadows bunted. Were you surprised? And how do you stay ready for something like that might be unexpected?
Like you never know when that's gonna happen. You gotta be ready. You know, those kind of games like that. I know I shot a little bit because I know at some point he's gonna do that thing, and he did it right there, and I was ready for that, for make that play, help Logan to stay close in the field, make outs. You know, that's the little thing that help the team win games. So it feel good when you make those plays like that and you see they react for our team. That it's a big out right there. So always got to be ready for teams like that. And today I was ready for that bunt right there. Sí.
Para español, por Venezuela, Eugenio, regresas al estadio donde, como tú dices, donde todo comenzó, donde tú conectaste tu primer cuadrangular en el 2014, ahora conectaste el segundo en tu carrera en postemporada. ¿Qué de especial tiene para ti este estadio, teniendo en cuenta que Miguel Cabrera estaba presente y quien te recibió?
Mira, de verdad se siente bonito poder volver donde todo empezó. Lo dije al principio de la entrevista. Siempre para mí, ¿sabes? Trae recuerdos bonitos porque aquí fue donde todo empezó y bueno, Dios me dio la dicha y la oportunidad de poder conectar ese jonrón hoy. Y bueno, se siente súper bien porque ayudé al equipo a conseguir la victoria, que es lo más importante, ¿no? Y poder ver a Miguel lanzar ese primer picheo esta noche, de verdad que se siente bien, pues Miguel es un ídolo aquí en Detroit para nosotros los venezolanos. Como lo dije, yo creo que Miguel es uno de los más grandes peloteros que yo he tenido la dicha de poder compartir el clubhouse y poder jugar con él, y de verdad que me alegró mucho poderlo ver esta noche.
Ya la última, cuando nos vimos en Atlanta en el Juego de las Estrellas, estamos hablando de un posible cambio, se dio el cambio, volviste a Seattle. ¿Te imaginabas estar peleando o a punto de ir a la serie de campeonato?
Mira, de verdad que hubo un momento de la temporada donde no pensé que iba a ser para acá, para Seattle, ya que ellos ya habían hecho un movimiento previo al mío, donde trajeron a Naylor. Pero de verdad que se siente bien poder regresar donde tuve 2 años muy buenos en mi carrera y sabe, poder que ellos me hayan tomado en cuenta para ayudarlo a competir, a seguir compitiendo por el campeonato. Y como yo siempre he dicho, yo creo que la ciudad de Seattle se merece eso y mucho más. Ellos han esperado mucho tiempo para llegar a este momento y bueno, gracias a Dios, yo creo que este año las cosas pueden cambiar y bueno, seguir firme, seguir jugando como jugamos el día de hoy, que las cosas salieron súper bien y seguir avanzando a ver lo que nos repara en el camino.
JP, we saw the emotion from you earlier in the season when you guys were in Detroit and pulled off the sweep. You've been here as long as anyone, or longer than anyone. How does it feel to be 1 win away from going to the championship series?
It feels great, but I just have to focus on tomorrow. You know, it's a big game and can't have any distractions. We got to be all in tomorrow.
JP, you signed on here a while back. What was sort of the vision that you saw for what this team could become What was the plan that you signed on for?
This moment right here. We had a good foundation, and I love the city. We have a house up there. We stay up there. I love everything about Seattle. And now looking at this part of it, this is great.
JP, just how emblematic was this game of what makes you guys dangerous at this point, where obviously it was Cal tonight, but it was also you and Randy and Victor, and it was just waves of guys offensively. How much is that kind of who you guys are at this point?
Yeah, we had a good day, 1 through 9, and that's the team that we are. We create chaos, and, we just keep the line moving.
JP, you played behind Logan for a long time. Oh, maybe killing me. You played behind Logan a long time. How much have you seen him, like the competitor that he really is, the Walter aspect, when he gets out on the mound versus the guy you see in the clubhouse?
Yeah, he's a cold-blooded killer when he steps on the mound, and I think that's why his name's Walter. It just sounds like a scary name. No offense to the Walters out there. But, especially you seen it tonight, from pitch 1 to pitch 85 or whatever, he was coming at their throat, and, you need that type of mentality in these games.
Bryce, first question is just how do you feel about being named the Game 4 starter?
I'm excited, ready to go. I haven't thrown in a few days, and it's been a long week. I've threw a couple bullpens and worked on some things, but overall I feel really good and ready to get out there.
How much mentally do you take from what you've seen in the previous 3 games from George, from Logan, from Luis that you can maybe apply to your own game plan going forward?
Yeah, we've seen this team a couple times this year, and I think we were all watching when they played Cleveland, and then we've executed a lot of good pitches and a lot of at bats, the last 3 days, and obviously I've been watching and I can take a lot from watching those 3 guys. So they all went out and competed and threw really well. So plan on following them up.
Bryce, when we talked to you last, you didn't know if you were going to be pitching in relief, starting. When did you kind of figure out that you might start Game 4? Were there chances where you might relieve? How's that been? Because you guys all have your routine as well. So how's that been leading up to this?
It was tentatively the plan, from the beginning. I had, whenever the first game went extras, kind of had a chance to head down there, and then if Game 2 would have gone too long, I would have head to the bullpen as well. But I stayed on schedule, threw a couple bullpens this week, and it was the plan from once we knew Wu was out, that would probably be the way we go. So it didn't mess with my schedule too much. So most of the week I've been planning on throwing Game 4.
Right. So obviously the pitching is always a hallmark of the Mariners, but you also have that strength up the middle that everybody talks about: catcher, shortstop, center field. All elite defenders and elite players. What does that kind of strength up the middle do for a pitching staff?
Yeah, no, it's big. Anytime you have a platinum glove, catcher, that's going to help, and especially when he hits 60 home runs. But JP's been great at shortstop all year, and Julio, I don't know how he hasn't had a Gold Glove yet, but I hope it's coming, and I know he's got plenty in his future. So it provides us, a lot of extra confidence knowing, we have the guys behind us and in front of us as well. Anything to them, I got full confidence that they're going to make the play. And even there's been plenty of plays in center field where I think I gave up a double or even a home run, and Julio comes out of nowhere and makes a play. So. It's a lot of fun pitching with them behind me.
You said you watched when the Mariners were in the playoffs last time. You were watching it. Where were you watching it at, and what have you learned just in watching these games in person versus watching them on TV?
Yeah, I was watching from home. It looked like Seattle was a amazing environment. It looked like a lot of fun, and I wished I was there. And the last 2 years being a game short. Really, it didn't sit well with a lot of us in the clubhouse, but I'm I'm glad we're here. The last 2 years weren't very fun, and we knew we were better than how we performed, and this is where we expected to be with the staff we have and the lineup we have, and we expected to be here, and it's been a lot of fun, but we got a lot of fun ahead.